Welcome to Tech Time. I'm Chad Poole.
And I'm Joe Burt. Today we're going to talk about this machine right here, the BN-20. We're going to talk about 5 common questions that we get as technicians from our customers about this machine. First thing I want to start with is one of probably the most popular questions we get all the time when we do an install. It's advice for a new owner and someone new owning the BN-20. Chad, you got any information on that?
You know, a lot of our problems that we run into as technicians with new owners to the print cut machine is artwork, software. You know, Corel, Adobe Illustrator.
Yep.
Those can be the toughest hills to climb, especially when you're new to the industry. So what I like to recommend is, you know, maybe take a community college course, take a couple classes, and really get yourself familiar with those graphic software, because it's half the battle, and once you have that part down, I feel like it's smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, and we always recommend to our customers when we do an install, it can take anywhere to 4 to 6 hours, and really the deciding factor on that time, it comes down to the artwork. It's one of those things where you see the printer prints, it cuts it, it does a lot of great things. It really comes down to how can you set up the artwork, and whether that be Corel Draw or Illustrator. Nice thing is here at Stahls TV, we've created some videos already that go into detail on Corel and AI and how to make these. Also to Chad and myself and the other technicians, when we do an install with you, we go over the training as well. So it is offered, but it's one of those things that to keep in mind, it is the toughest thing from owning the new machine. It's the hardest thing to kind of get down.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, another question we get as technicians is when you get skipping in the blade or running, so to speak. What are some common misconceptions on that?
Get this question a lot, and you know they come through to us a lot as a question as technicians, and it's one of 3 things. Skipping with cutting, it mostly 9 times out of 10 is the blade. Put a new blade in there, it's probably solved. You may have chipped it by accident, maybe having too much force when you cut. Next thing you want to check though is the cut strip. If it's got any nicks in it, that blade could grab onto those nicks, chip that blade in return, and also give you that skipping effect. Third thing, not as common, but it could if your machine's about 2 to 3 years old. This could happen. It could be the blade holder. Blade holder actually allows that blade to spin in there, and it's a couple ball bearings that actually don't turn after a few years, and essentially it won't turn, and it'll just give kind of a skipping effect as it goes over that media. So if you do have an older machine, take a look at a new blade holder.
I think there's a video on Stahls TV as well as on how to clean the blade holder.
Yes, there is.
And that's a common misconception too, is people don't understand that you can clean that blade holder, you know, maintain it, make sure it's in proper shape, and you won't have those problems.
Yep, absolutely. Another thing too, to go off that sort of topic of cutting, third question we get to is cutting accuracy. Can you go into that a little bit more in detail there, Chad?
With the print cut machines, the further the job goes is, you know, you can go off in the cutting accuracy of the print. So if I had 80 5x5 prints and I ran it all at one time, the further it goes, the more it can become off on that cut line. So you might have some media showing on the actual print itself, and nobody wants that, especially for putting on a black shirt. Nobody wants the white, you know, material poking through.
Right.
So what we'd like to do as technicians is educate people about what we call a bleed zone. And I think there's a video on Stahls TV as well.
Yes.
But basically what you're doing is you're putting that cut line on the inside of the artwork. So you're taking a little bit of that artwork away, but you're saving yourself in the long run as far as your pocket's concerned, on the material and making your customer happy ultimately.
Yeah, you don't want to make mistakes, that's for sure. Yeah. Another thing too we get as technicians, color's not coming out properly. Color's a big thing. It's a printer. Your color's got to be matched. You got schools, sports teams. You got customers that need a specific color, and we see issues with this. What are some things that we could do for that?
Well, you know, color is a big thing. I think the biggest thing that we get as technicians is, okay, well, it looks like this on my screen, but it's printing out differently. Reason being is we're printing on a CMYK printer, but our screens are in RGB form. You know, so we see that a lot. You know, matching Pantones and really matching certain things. It can be difficult. That's why I think we prefer the Roland color chart. Yep. If you can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple videos on Stahls TV actually that go over the Roland color system library. There's a color swatch built into Corel Draw, one that you can load into Illustrator, and you can actually print out this chart, physical chart, so you can actually pick out a color and know how it prints. Another benefit to that chart is black and gray colors. A lot of people say with their CMYK printer that they see on these grays and blacks, magenta showing up cyan. Why is it there? I'm not printing that color. Well, actually, CMYK, your computer sees CMYK as a blend of all 4 colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Right. So you'll start seeing a little bit of shading in that if you use CMYK or RGB colors in your artwork. Right. So one of the biggest fixes are in the Roland color system library. They have BK colors, they're called, and on there they just use the black channel only, giving you that kind of true gray tone, something that a lot of people look for in their artwork and in their print quality.
Yep, absolutely. And the last thing I think we really want to touch on is maintenance. you know, Roland says probably once every 2 weeks to clean the manually clean the print head. We recommend once every week.
Definitely.
It's better safe than sorry. Once every 2 weeks, perfectly fine. Your machine will be real healthy for a long time, but I don't feel like there's an overload of cleaning that you shouldn't do. You know, I think that the more you do it, the better, actually.
Right, it's not one of those things where too much of it's a bad thing for
Correct,
it. Absolutely. One of the big things whenever we go out, and I think you could agree to this as well, Chad, is when we go out to an issue, it's got to do with maintenance. We go in there, we see ink all over the place, things that weren't properly taken care of.
Absolutely.
You take care of the machine, it's going to work for you just fine. And it's one of those really important things. And once again, another video we have here too is how to manually clean your BN-20. I think we stress the most important video I think we have on Stahls TV. That's going to keep your printer running and save you a lot of money.
Yep. I think that's all that we have today, our 5 questions. We'll have more in the future, but thanks for watching Tech Time. I'm Chad Poole.
And I'm Joe Burt. Have a great day.